Today, I wanted to talk about the reasons to stop smoking for your safety. And this is a slightly different subject that most of the time I think that people may even overlook. But again, when I was younger and I started smoking, people typically smoked indoors. You finished a meal in a diner or a restaurant, you had a cigarette indoors. You sat at your desk, you had a cigarette at your desk. You were home in your living room, you watched TV, you had a cigarette. That was normal. Now, things have changed, and things have changed for the better. Because again, way back then, this put all the non-smokers at risk. It just was just bad. So I'm not defending that. I'm not saying that was right. The change was good, and I'm glad we changed our ways about that. But now, what this has done now is almost created another problem that was more of a byproduct. Now that cigarette smokers typically cannot smoke indoors and must go outside, that puts potentially many cigarette smokers in a very precarious situation. For example, let's say it's gotten dark outside and you're still at work, and then what ends up happening is you go on break, you have to go out and have a cigarette. So you walk outside, you're outside a municipal building or a commercial building. No one or not much is going on outside. You have to potentially stand 50 or 100 feet away from the building or wherever the designated area is, or just be in a public space, and you're outside by yourself for a good 3 to 5 minutes smoking your cigarette. Well, under normal conditions, you would not have been there. It might not even be a safe area to be. Many areas that it might not be known to be safe. And now your only option, if you'd like to have a cigarette, is to now be in these places during this period of time. And that, I think, does put people at a much greater risk for, being the victims of different, a situation. Again, if I was a bad guy and I was looking for a victim and I saw somebody come outside to smoke a cigarette, chances are I know that person's planning to be there for 3 to 5 minutes. That gives me 3 to 5 minutes to figure out what crime I want to commit and what I want to do, and whether it's a robbery or some other bad thing. And again, I'm not saying I'm a good person, but I try to think in terms of what a bad person might do to try to help protect myself and my family so we don't put ourselves in those situations. So I guess what I'm saying to you is, if you're a current cigarette smoker and you have to go out and smoke, I want you to be aware. I want you to think like that. It does seem in many areas that we have growing crime and growing concerns, and not every area is as safe as others. You may be normally used to smoking in an outdoor safe area, and then on occasion have to do something else. For example, if you were to, you're on a business trip and you can't smoke in the building, and you have to step outside, or you want to have a cigarette before the meeting starts, or you're in a smoke-free hotel while you're away, and you have to go out and you're on a city street, and maybe that area's not in the best neighborhood. Now you're outside smoking and you're completely unfamiliar with what's normal there. But again, it is putting you potentially at risk. I'm not saying you are at risk, but potentially. And I think it's always best to go through life looking at potential problems and trying to minimize your risk. I think it just makes sense. That's made sense for me. That's made sense for my family. It's the advice I give to other people. So if you are a current smoker, please, first of all, if you have to go outside and you're in any area that looks a little sketchy or is questionable, go back in. Don't stay there. It's not worth it for the cigarette. Try to find an alternative. Always be aware, especially, again, right now we're talking, it's only a couple weeks before Christmas. There's more people that are out looking to rob people that are potentially putting gifts in their car or spending money at a mall. And it could be that time that you're standing in the mall parking lot or even outside the mall, and you're having a cigarette. You might be more of a target because people know you're spending money and you've got gifts and all. So if this is your situation, again, please, if you're a current smoker, be careful out there. Be mindful of where you go to have outdoor smoking and what you do. The other side, of course, I'm going to recommend to you that if you decide to quit smoking, if you want to stop smoking, which is your best alternative for your health, for your wallet, for your safety, for everything. What I suggest you do is find a mentor, somebody that's already quit smoking, somebody like myself. If you want to find out what I did when I quit smoking 15 years ago, I ask you to click one of the links around the video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to seeing you as a non-smoker.